Joseph Kaguthi.
And we'll talk about the legacy of President Mwai Kibaki, but of course from the live pictures you can see this is just preparations as the motorcade makes its way through various roads in the city towards Parliament, and we have cameras positions at very vantage points, so you will be seeing this motorcade all the way from Lee Funeral up until when it gets to Parliament buildings. So President Uhuru Kenyatta is expected to lead the entire nation in the viewing of President Mwai Kibaki. The motorcade right now is on Valley Road, and from there obviously headed towards Kenyatta Avenue, finally at the GPO, and then towards Parliament. And we are very careful to ensure that you get these pictures live on KBC Channel 1, wall-to-wall coverage as we honor the third President of the Republic of Kenya. But coming back to studio, Mr. Kaguthi, you know, looking at a state funeral in the sense of what we have had before. We have buried the first President of the Republic, Mzee Jomo Kenyatta. We have buried the second President Daniel Arap Moi. But in between, we've also had a state funeral, this time organized for a former First Lady, Mama Lucy Kibaki. What is the difference between burying a president and burying a former First Lady in terms of state protocol?
I may not be as well versed, but you know, they are stepped down a bit militarily.
Okay.
Military, they have their orders, they have their protocols. So the First Lady, that title First Lady, it bestows a certain level of respect. That is a person who was a First Lady when the President was the head of state, Commander-in-Chief of the armed forces, and the head of the government that is ruling that time. She was not as active as running the government, but she was the power behind the president in terms of the support. So the military, and if you look at the way even they are covered, you see that she is also covered by the military, but not as that level. So the military is the one which determines at what level it comes. I was there as a DO when we had a state funeral during Mzee Kenyatta's time. I was DO in Nairobi. And I remember very, very well the way the respect came, the way they brought the casket in walking from State House or the way to where it is interned, and the last respect, the whole country feeling it. That is different, kidogo, because he died when he was in office. This one had already retired. Therefore, the president, President Uhuru Kenyatta, has now to take the charge in saying this is the way we will now conduct it. And you could remember the statement he gave all the direction that the morning period will be in this kind of format, so that the whole country is put on this morning mood so that everybody fits in. And this is a very big lesson. Very big lesson to all of us who are living, that for you to command the respect of the nation at this level, you must have done a lot of sacrifice. You must have inspired a lot of aspects of the country. And from Mzee Kibaki, when I see his entire life at the economic development, you just feel his presence. But again, that paper, session of paper
1965.
Yes. Then you come, I remember 1983, where there was a small argument. Then he told the President Moi, our civil servants, they are telling about the district focus. They are not going to implement it. No. They are going to give this reason or that reason. And then the late Simeon Nyachai, Chief Secretary, decided to hold it by the horns in order to prove the Vice President, the then Minister, wrong. And remember, we had now to go rural. Completely switched and stepped down the provincial administration, the province, and focused now on the district. So little contributions But you see it being going very far. A little motivation like that, just challenging the civil service. And you get, because of that, Simeon Nyachai himself had to go district by district, province by province, mobilizing everybody that it is the citizen who matter, and let's now do it. And then on the other side, the finances are being drawn to the former. It was like the way we have devolved government. But that time was not structured.
Yes.
But you remember the members of parliament were participating in the district development committees. So a single thing like that. If you remember him again in Laikipia when the president took over, 1978. 79 they went to Laikipia. And he did articulate the Nyayo philosophy to the best of my mind, the best I could. He brought in the three aspects of Nyayo philosophy, and more or less for us who are in the civil service, we listen to our leaders talking, we get direction from them, we get inspiration from them. Some of them are so much on sacrifice, we sacrifice quite a lot, so that from there uko na mwongozo, so to speak. The ups and downs, but that is the way the country is.
Let me ask you a very critical question, obviously, as we continue to monitor our tracking the movement of the late President Mwai Kibaki's body as it heads towards Parliament. But as a person who has a wealth of having served these administrations, I think you've even served under President Uhuru Kenyatta. You've served under President Jomo Kenyatta,
yes, I did.
Under President Moi, under President Kibaki, and now under President Uhuru Kenyatta. How would you rate the leadership of Emilio Stanley Mwai Kibaki as president? Not as the other positions he occupied, but particularly as president.
You only judge an administration in his time. If you judge it outside that time, utafanya makosa.
Okay.
Like it's not right now for us to start comparing President Uhuru Kenyatta with any other one. You wait until he is off.
Okay.
You remember President Kibaki, nani amekemewa kuliko yeye? You remember until his Minister for State Murungaru alisema wengine waliita kuna buzi ambayo inaitwa ya Rwanyo kwa Kikuyu. Ile buzi hata ukiipa chakula gani inakula tu, lakini inapiga makelele inapiga makelele. Meaning when you compare his leadership, he said wacha waseme. You remember that statement? Kwa nini waseme? Meaning he was not getting affected by criticism. He was still going on his mission. You remember the difference between him and Mzee Moi? Mzee Moi unafanya makosa, you are off. At 1 o'clock you are off.
Yes.
This one here, his leadership was very interesting. I had retired myself that time. But you can see he allows you to mess up the department or the ministry or the agency, gives you time to correct it, you correct it, and then you now work. Isn't it? He was not so much hands-on for interference. Then he would wait until when we have National Day, then he's summarizing what the government is doing. It brings a lot of, you saw that, brings a lot of hope.
Yeah.
He was very, very steady. You can see by the way he would react to very nasty things, like the 207. You remember when he went to Burnt Forest? Is it a Burnt Forest? And then when he started talking, Wakora, they started burning people's houses across. Then he looked at it akaona in ujinga. Because wacha wachome, tuisakwisha. Look at the way he has
how he responds to some of these things.
Yes, yes. His emotional aspect of it was able to inspire and calm down. I know he was very, very affected by that 2007. How did I know? Because when I talked to the bishops who are coming.
Before we continue, let's just point out to our viewers that we are now on Kenyatta Avenue. From Kenyatta Avenue all the way now to the GPU roundabout and then head towards Parliament. So far the body is at Kenyatta Avenue. That means it's a matter of minutes before the body makes its way to Parliament for military owners. Let's go on. Kaguthi, you were talking, about his leadership in terms of ignoring some of these things happening around him. He was saying he was affected by the 2007 post.
Oh, he was affected, and you can know the areas he was affected by the people who interacted with him. For instance, when he met the bishops from Rift,
yes,
he was asking them one basic question. But why did you kill people? Why did your people? Why were they killing? We lost a lot of lives.
Yes,
that question was not answered. And for me, I was seeing as if this is a curse. You cannot kill somebody whom you know, because it will continue haunting you, and God forbid. And that's why I liked the way the leadership has come. I've listened to the President Uhuru. I've listened to his deputy saying, never again shall we kill one another because of political competition. I say, may God put his stamp on that, so that we should never go to that folly thing. These are the ones like the state funeral that you are now on, the one we are seeing.
Yes.
Why? What is the meaning of this big respect? It is a lot of respect for us as a country. We are recognizing how much sacrifice the individual has done, the Kenyan has done. We are recognizing the inspiration he gave. We are telling virtually every citizen, this is what you aspire to do. Sacrifice as much as you can, inspire as much as you can, reduce the quarrels, because they will not help. So for instance, anybody who was quarreling with Mwai Kibaki when he was president, what benefit does he have now? They are seeing how he has been elevated.
Actually, even his critics are praising him a lot these days.
Exactly. And who has not been criticized? I was there when Mzee Kenyatta was administering. And some of the things he was being takataka ilikuwa inatupwa kwake. I was a deal, and sometimes I would start now to defend.
Yeah.
That was the initial public provincial administration. We were the second, I think, generation. And I can tell you, none has gone without criticism. In fact, the one who faced the least criticism, in my view, I can say is Mwai.
Mwai.
Yeah, because he would deal with you.
But then he would say he ruled with an iron fist.
Yeah, he will deal with you. He will deal with you through his systems.
Yeah.
Or the others, even the current one. Amekuwa criticized. And now we are telling them there is a culture that will plead with the media, with the clergy, with the elders.
Yes.
Please reduce the disrespect for our leaders. Please, please, please.
Right.
Because if we don't reduce that disrespect, it comes to your house. Unaona watoto wanakuwa na freedom ya kukuambia maneno ambayo we could not tell our parents.
Right now the motorcade is on Uhuru Highway. Like I said, it's just a matter of minutes before the body of the late president gets to the parliament buildings. And this is an event, like I said, of military precision. At exactly 7:10,
yes,
the military is on the highway escorting the remains of the former commander-in-chief, immediate former commander-in-chief. And this is the highest honor any Kenyan can get, and now going to President Mwai Kibaki. You remember 2 years ago, we were on the same as we lost President Daniel Arap Moi, and that means we don't have a surviving former president.
Yes, it is state. It's not just government, it is state. It's respected by all nations. And that's why in all our embassies, the flag is half-mast, and it is saying the country is in a mourning mood. They have lost one of their leaders. And it tends to bring respect to the other countries, that the more you respect your people. You remember there was another day that I think it was Joho who was telling the Gikuyu here, if you get people who do not respect your leaders, don't think they respect you. Similarly, if we do not respect our leaders the way we are respecting, the other countries cannot respect us. So we need to keep on learning from these lessons, and we cascade it to the young ones who may not be knowing. This is recognizing that he has made major contributions at this republic state level. Amekuja kwa that level, even as we the nearly 99% of the population we have here, who is wale wote tuko hapa tumezaliwa wakati Kenyatta huyu huko kwa uongozi, isn't it?
Except me.
Yeah, you are lot. And therefore, when you are writing a critique, always remember you are coming from a time where you do not know the environment which was there at that time when there were interrupts in Eastras here. The whole of this Mombasa Road, both sides, it has been put up when I'm in a government. In fact, the allocations. The allocations, we had a central government plot allocation committee chaired by Gigi Kariuki. And look at the development the way it is now. Now we reach a level that we have this express. Because the population, the vehicles,
too many.
Tarmac here. But here Nairobi, Mombasa, Nini, Vika, there was nothing. No.
It's a country that virtually came from the dust.
We have grown very fast. I tell people, if you want to know how much you have grown, compare the Kenya shilling on exchange rate with Uganda, with Tanzania. And in 1976, they were at par. This one
the
here,
of a shilling.
Yes, it has now become a hard currency for the region.
That's true.
Isn't it? Meaning that you've grown very, very well. In terms of education, mumesoma.
Actually, a very interesting fact is that the free primary education introduced by President Mwai Kibaki,
yes,
the lot that entered school and started enjoying free primary education,
yes,
will actually be voting for the first time in this election.
Yes.
The lot that started enjoying the free primary education offered by President Mwai Kibaki, which is one of his biggest legacies, that even when naysayers said it was not possible to have free primary education in Kenya,
I know
President Kibaki made it work.
President Clinton said, I want to go and see that gentleman. You remember he said it?
Yes.
That he got surprised on those very hard decisions. But he saw, without education, the country is likely to again start going down. And because during the time from President Moi, there was a bit of a problem on the economy. He did very well at the political level. I quote him. He's the one who said, when I compare myself with Kibaki, he did very well. He has done very well on the economy, but he has not done well in
I didn't know we're heading
politics.
to, this is parliament.
Yes.
That's just how quick the military is.
Precision,
military precision. The execution, of this very particular event is conducted with military precision. Like you can see now, we are already on Parliament Road. That means then the military are going to take the body of the late president, draped in that Kenyan flag, into the Parliament buildings. By 9 o'clock, we expect President Uhuru Kenyatta to be leading the nation in this solemn occasion. Let's continue with the legacy of the president. Yes.
I remember during the time of Mr. Kenyatta, when this one it came, but that time it was carried by they carried it.
The carriage was
it was pulled by the askari. No, the askari. The askari did it very well. As it was entering, the late President Nyerere, I was attached. Because of the team, I was attached to his grouping.
Okay.
When we went to Pan-Africa, alisema nyinyi ona hawa vile wamefanya within this period of CG 20 something days. Look at what the so many few days. Look at the level of precision they have come. He was admiring the way we did that state funeral, because this particular country, in terms of military precision, is only that we don't praise ourselves. If we were, you can definitely agree that they are just tops, and this brings a lot of respect to the international community. So we are normally very critical of ourselves inside here, but over there, I can tell you, my colleagues, I was with the regional commissioner the other side when I was in PC Nyanza, and you tell me how admirable they are. I gave him a tour of Nyanza for 5 days. 5 days he toured Nyanza. As a neighboring regional commissioner. And I remember him telling me, hawa watu wako akisi wanacharasha wanalima hata hapa kwa barabara na wako na napier grass. Why can't you allow me to bring some of them to Tarime? I give them land. But I kulima But the president that time felt Mzee Moi, when I consulted, akasema no, don't do that because wakiumizwa kule nani atawatetea? You can remember, you can see
and
that
government pastors protected
because
people.
he was so much people based. Anaangalia maslahi ya wale watu. But the point here is the admiration of this country, which we who are in do not seem to appreciate. We are so critical, we cannibalize, we are so critical of ourselves, we forget the blessings God has given this country. Maybe I'm talking this way like a provincial commissioner who has seen it on the ground. Unaenda kwa mtoto, ako na malaria, na wanagoja akamba basi, ilete drugs, ilete pesa kutoka Nairobi kwa mtoto wake. You can imagine. And you feel, one time I told the president he put drugs in an aircraft, brought them to Nyanza. Because I was in Homa Bay, hapa Kedubi. Nikakuta this kind of it affected me. It affected me, so I had now to relate to the president.
And there's a shot of where the body of President Mwai Kibaki will be lying for the next 3 days. Every 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. the public will be able to view the body, and that is from tomorrow and Wednesday. Today is just President Uhuru Kenyatta and senior government officials who will be doing this. But as you can see, again, even here, it's a military event. You don't even see the presence of police officers just around there. This is a purely military event as the military honors its immediate former commander-in-chief. And you've taken me a bit back with some of the things you were talking about the military, and particularly during President Mzee Jomo Kenyatta's time.
I was a DO that time.
Because you were a DO that time. And interestingly again, the president died while in office. The state funerals we have held before of President Moi and now of President Kibaki are of retired presidents. And that time it was a serving president.
And the actual, and therefore, in this particular case, during my time, there was always a DO on duty. So that the military, the citizens, they are a bit too hot.
Yes.
They are therefore able to be helped where the citizen is moving in a certain direction. That DO comes in to balance it. Even in State House, we the morning was being done, the viewing was in the State House. You can remember the picture that you can remember very quickly is of Jaramogi Oginga Odinga when he came and you would see the lining up, kule nje, the handling of the citizens were by the DOs, so that they are able to help the GSU. Because of the levels of protocol. But the sense here that we should not forget, for somebody to reach that level of respect, they must have done a lot to this country. That's why the whole country is at a standstill, low-key in a lot of activities, mourning, in recognition. Asante. Ni kama tunamwambia Mwenyezi Mungu asante kwa kutupatia huyu Mkenya, ametufanyia. And the document that I have touched, if you remember no, you are not there. When he was Minister for Finance, he is one person who made us all very proud of when he is reading the budget. Why? He will read it and then he comes to the time he says, and now we go to the Committee of Ways and Means, the Ways and Means, the way he would increase the prices, say for cigarettes and alcohol, people expected it and they were happy. Because that time, we were trying to contain alcoholization of this country. Unfortunately, talking like a founder of Nakada, feel very sorry. Yes, very, very sorry.
And we'll talk about that in a bit. But before we showed the pictures from Parliament, and as you can see now the casket is being removed from that carriage and will be taken for preparation so that it is kept at that very point to enable the viewing. And you can see a red carpet laid right from the gate of Parliament buildings all the way into the entrance of the chambers is how you see this respect being offered to President Mwai Kibaki. A red carpet right from the entrance of the Parliament buildings as the body is removed from the carriage for preparation ahead of the body viewing. But I remember we were talking about his legacy, Joseph Kaguthi, in terms of education. And you were talking about Clinton when he said, I want to go and see this man who wants to make education free.
Not only that, education. You know, he was a communicator par excellence in my county, Nyandarua. Maybe I take this because I picked it and started propagating it when I was doing the campaign against drug abuse. How did he put it? On alcohol. You know, we had a certain alcohol called Kairase, the one which destroyed the men so badly. Yes. There were 5 factories in Naivasha which were competing to bring alcohol to